Let's talk about hosting, specifically hosting for Amazon affiliate sites. I had a question come in a couple weeks ago. Someone was just getting started. They hadn't even purchased a hosting package yet, and they wanted to know how they could plan for the future, and they were willing to make an investment. They were willing to pay a little bit more for hosting to sort of like plan for the future and plan for future growth. I like that kind of thinking. It's kind of the way I think too. I'd rather, make an investment early on and just be set for a little while. This is where it may surprise you a little bit. I'm gonna recommend that you don't have to do that yet. My name is Doug Cunnington. I talk about Amazon affiliate marketing and project management. So this is about hosting, and I will say up front, I'm gonna put a couple links below. They are affiliate links. It won't cost you any more, but if you buy the hosting that I mention here, I'll get a commission. So just wanna let you know, links are below if you wanna check it out. Feel free to just go directly to the sites. The awesome part about starting a niche site or an Amazon affiliate site is you could basically start a business for about $200. That would be for, hosting, maybe a premium theme, a couple tools here and there, stuff like that. Hosting is probably the biggest expenditure up front. The hosting I started with was shared hosting, and that's what I recommend you start with too. It is going to be the cheaper hosting for basically any hosting company, and just like it sounds, it's shared. So you're on a server with a bunch of other websites, and typically it's going to be like multiple hundreds, right? You're going to be on a server with hundreds of other people. Don't worry about it. The thing is, when you're first getting started, you're probably not going to get that much traffic, and it's okay if you're on a server that runs a little bit slower because there's so many other people on it. Now, I started on Bluehost, and I used the Bluehost shared package, and it was great. In fact, I still have an account over there at Bluehost, and it was fine. They have good customer service. I have heard people like the customer service, and then other times people don't like the customer service. Keep that in mind. Customer service is probably one of the #1 things to look out for, but typically, even on a shared hosting package, you can, hop on a chat, you can send an email. Depending on the company, you may be able to call them up and talk to, customer service person, or even like a system administrator. When do you move? When is it time to upgrade your hosting? A quick reference point, these prices could change, but I'll give you a range. So for shared hosting, it's probably gonna be about $3 or $4 a month to maybe $8 or $9 a month. The trick is most of the companies will have like a promo deal. So when you first sign up the first year, it may be, $3 a month. But then the second year when you renew, it may jump up to $9 a month. A lot of times I don't mind paying a little extra if the service is there, right? I actually upgraded hosting to a different hosting company, right? So I heard good things about SiteGround. So I have one of my bigger sites over on SiteGround, and their customer service is even better than Bluehost, I think. The cool thing with SiteGround is when I had an issue, when I had a question, I could chat with not just a customer service person, but it was actually a tech person. It was an administrator, so they could check my server, they could reset things, and they could answer technical questions. So that makes a big difference depending on what you need, but keep that in mind. So the point is, when you first sign up, shared hosting, any hosting will probably have a promo rate when you first sign up for a hosting account. Then second year it may jump up. So keep that in mind, always keep that in mind. When do you upgrade? I think whenever you get to about 300 to 500 visitors a day, that's probably a time you want to get out of the shared hosting account and upgrade. Typically, you could stay at the same hosting company and just upgrade your account for more resources. There are many different flavors of the specifics depending on what a hosting company calls the upgraded account. So those are things like semi-dedicated hosting, cloud hosting, maybe WordPress optimized hosting. In all the cases, you end up with more resources dedicated to your specific domain. You're probably still on a shared server, but instead of having 800 other websites on that server, you'll have 8. It's much smaller. And the result is you have a faster server response time, which is one of the main factors to actually speed up or slow down your site. If you have fast server response time, That's a very good thing. Now, what about cost? So we're looking at, once you hit about 300 visitors a day, you'll want to upgrade. You could stay at the same host. You can move to another host if you want to. The cost varies, right? So just like before, there's a range, but for this upgraded hosting, I'm aiming for about $25 a month, give or take $10 or $15. So maybe it's $18 a month, or maybe it's $45 a month, depending on what hosting company you want to work with. So again, little recap, use shared hosting in the beginning up to about 300 visitors a day. Once you get to about 300, you want to probably upgrade. That'll be good, most likely until you hit like 1,000 visitors a day or so, maybe even 1,200 or 1,500 a day. This actually happened to me. I was getting about 1,000 visitors a day, and then I added more keyword golden ratio content. Over time, it slowly moved up. So after a few months, I was actually getting about 1,500 to 1,800 visitors a day. My site started loading pretty slow. It started crashing the server actually. So the server was crashing. I wouldn't be able to log in. I just had many issues, and it was very slow because the growth was very slow. Eventually, I realized that I needed to upgrade my hosting. Unfortunately, the hosting company that I was with, they didn't know that right away. I kept asking if I needed to upgrade, but they just said, no, just make sure it's optimized for speed. I already did all that stuff that they told me to do. So eventually I upgraded to a cloud package over at SiteGround. It was fantastic. It solved all my problems. This upgrade, right? So at that point, the site's making good money. So I could afford to invest in the infrastructure, and frankly, the overhead's so low on an Amazon affiliate site, it's fine to pay for the hosting, right? So I upgraded the hosting to more processors, very few other domains on my server. It was semi-dedicated cloud hosting, and essentially it sped up my site so dramatically, and I was able to handle up to 4,000 to 5,000 visitors a day. I didn't hit the cap. I never had any issues. The site loads fast, and once I moved over, it's fantastic. I have the ability to add more resources without changing my hosting account. So I could just log into my account and add more memory, add more CPUs, pay a few extra dollars. So maybe around the holidays, when I know I'm going to get more traffic, I can upgrade the service package and just do it for a few months and then scale it back down when the time's right. Now, how much am I paying for that? It's $125 a month. Yeah, this is a significant investment, right? $125 a month, but it's a business where it's making far more than that. It's a no-brainer to actually invest in good hosting if you could pay for it, right? So you wouldn't want to, pay $125 when you're just getting your site started. It doesn't make any sense to do that. Question of the day. What do you think about when you should upgrade hosting? What kind of hosting do you have? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget, check out some of the links to my hosting company. So I mentioned Bluehost, I mentioned SiteGround, but I also use a smaller company called MDD. They're just a smaller company. Again, they have great customer service where you can, hop on a chat, open a support ticket on their site, and you get to a technician right away. You get to a person who could actually log on to the server, see what's going on, versus some other companies, the bigger companies, a lot of times you do end up working with a service representative who just has a script and they don't actually have access to your server, which is a big deal when you have questions. So you need someone who could go in and check things and answer your questions fast. I'm Doug Cunnington. If you want to learn more about Amazon affiliate marketing, take a look at the channel and please subscribe. Thanks.